you can have this belt, I'm giving it to you. I'm
Giving it to me.
Take it.
Terry Funk.
I'm giving it to you. I am giving you the...
Giving me the belt?
No, isn't that silly? That is so silly. No, Todd, be quiet, because that's silly. And I know that I'm sorry that wasn't very respectful to you, but I'm telling you, you take that belt. And you know why you can take that belt? Because it's going to be the biggest thrill to me on the field. Whenever I take the thing back from you, that's what's going to give me the biggest elation, because I'm going to show you that this old man is not as easy to push around as you think he is, as you should have found out tonight.
Terry Funk.
Don't put my finger on your chest. I understand that. I won't.
You don't have to give me any belt, Terry Funk.
I won't touch you with my
You
finger
don't have to give me a belt, you old piece of...
Gentlemen, please. Hey, come on. Gentlemen.
You don't have to give me the belt, because I'm taking the belt. How's that, huh? How's that, you son of a... Huh?
Gentlemen, please.
How's that, guys? What's the matter with you guys?
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to NWA Eastern Championship Wrestling. I'm Joey Styles in the Eagle's Nest, high above the ECW arena, and the wrestling world is still abuzz about the incident we saw right here last week, the press conference involving ECW heavyweight champion Terry Funk and challenger, the franchise, Shane Douglas. I still can't believe what I witnessed that evening. Now, Todd Gordon is on the program this week, and he is going to announce the main event for Saturday night, March 5th, for right here at the ECW Arena. And I've got to tell you, fans, tickets are going fast. The hotline's been ringing off the hook. The mail's been coming in record numbers. If you want seats, you better call right now, 215-544-04... Wait a minute. Hey, let's not waste any more time. I understand that Commissioner Todd Gordon is standing by with my broadcast partner, Jay Sully, with some up-to-the-minute news regarding Saturday night, March 5th. Take it away, Jay.
Thank you, Joey Styles. This is Jay Sully with ECW Commissioner Todd Gordon. And Todd, the time has come. It's time to announce who the #1 contender is here in the ECW, the man who will be facing Terry Funk for the heavyweight championship March 5th at the ECW Arena.
Well, as you know, Jay Sully, I met this week with the NWA Board of Governors, and they mandated who should be the #1 title contender. They mandated who gets the title defense. Much to my chagrin, they've determined who will get that shot on March the 5th. So in addition to seeing Road Warrior Hawk come to Philadelphia to come against Mr. Hughes, in addition to seeing Sabu put the TV title on the line against the newest star in the ECW, Awesome Mike Awesome, yes, the NWA has decided that, yes, Shane Douglas, the franchise, will get the shot on March the 5th for the title. He will go up against Terry Funk in a match. What is this now?
Shane Douglas.
Paulie Dangerously, there's an interview going on here. We had enough last week with the press conference. We're not going to have it again. The NWA has decided that the Shane Douglas, Paulie Dangerous, get off the set. You don't belong on here right now. We're not going to have this every week during the interview.
You want to see how much I belong? You want to see how much we belong?
I got enough of you. I got enough.
The Sandman's picture. You want to see how much?
That's enough of you. I said get off the set. Get off the set. I've had enough of you. I've got enough of all of this, Jay Sully. I can't tell you. Listen, the NWA can decide who the #1 contender is, but I'm still the president of the ECW, and I'll decide what the stipulations for that match are. And I'll tell you that next week. I'm sick of you, Paulie Dangerously, and I'm sick of you, Jay Sully.
March 5th at the ECW Arena, Terry Funk, Shane Douglas.
Well, the tempers here in ECW are certainly flaring. Nobody happy about the franchise Shane Douglas being awarded the title shot against Terry Funk after his antics at that press conference. No one except Funk himself was looking to slap some respect into the young franchise Shane Douglas, the man who has stirred up so much controversy as of late here in NWA Eastern Championship Wrestling. And speaking of Mr. Douglas and his manager, Sensational Sherry Martel, those two are headed down to the ring as Douglas goes one-on-one with our own underdog, Chad Austin. As Sherry Martel leads the very smug-looking Shane Douglas down to the ring. After what he pulled off last week here on this program, after the horrible display we saw, everybody in the sport of wrestling wants a piece of the franchise. Fan favorites and rule breakers alike want a piece of Shane Douglas, who is now the most hated. Well, here comes 911 and Paulie Dangerously. For what, I have no idea. 911 has got a hold of Chad Austin, has pulled him out of the ring like a small doll, and is throwing him from ringside.
Did you want Sabu so damn bad? Did you want to be the first?
Sabu's in the ring. Here comes Sabu. And Sabu is now going to work on the franchise Shane Douglas. As I said a few moments ago, the franchise now the most hated man in wrestling after his comments claiming he is the uncrowned ECW heavyweight champion. And you can bet Sabu and Paulie took exception to those comments, as now Sabu unloading on the franchise fighting back. The franchise now going to work on Sabu. Snapmare takes him over, and the franchise follows up with a series of right hands. Sabu firing back. Sabu and Shane toe-to-toe in the center of the ring. What a fantastic added attraction here this week on NWA Eastern Championship Wrestling, as Sabu just going to work. Wait, Shane's from the corner. Backdrop on the franchise who hits hard. And Sabu now choking away on Shane Douglas. He's an animal. He is out of control. He has been unchained. And Paulie has directed him at double leg takedown by Shane Douglas, who is now pummeling Sabu. Sherry Martel on the apron. The locker room is beginning to empty. There's the Rockin' Rebel. They're going to try to pull these two apart. While Shane Douglas brought this upon himself. Yes, he has broken that plateau. He has now established himself as a singles superstar, as a singles wrestler, as a premier athlete. But at what price? But at what price? As Sabu now works over Shane Douglas. Shane Douglas wanted stardom. He wanted to be the franchise. He wanted to be a contender for the world title. Well, look what it's cost him. Every man in Eastern Championship Wrestling, every man in the National Wrestling Alliance, every man in the sport of professional wrestling saw what came down last week. They heard his comments. They saw his behavior, and everybody wants a piece of Shane Douglas. This man better have eyes in the back of his head. This man better lock his door at night. This man better have somebody else start his car in the morning, because he has angered everybody in the sport of professional wrestling, as now these two are going at it again. Every wrestler in this promotion is in the ring trying to hold these two apart, and they can't do it. Shane Douglas has ignited a fire that will not be extinguished, and you can bet gasoline will be thrown on that fire Saturday night, March 5th at the ECW Arena when he's got to face Terry Funk one-on-one. We don't know what the stipulations will be, and it really doesn't matter, because if Douglas thinks he's in a fight for his life right now, he hasn't seen anything yet. Shane Douglas, you asked for this, and you got it.
To be a rule breaker 101, courtesy of Professor Paul E. Dangerously. Get used to it, Shane Douglas. Get used to it, because for the rest of your career, you're going to be the hunted one. You're going to be the one that everybody in ECW wants a piece of. You're going to be the one that everybody in the NWA wants a piece of. Hey, man, I've been getting phone calls from people in Atlanta. I've been getting phone calls from people up in Connecticut, and everybody wants a piece of you. You're the talk of the wrestling world. Congratulations. You don't need to be the ECW heavyweight champion to be the most wanted, the most sought-after person in the entire sport of wrestling. Shane Douglas says the franchise, you have achieved your goal. Everybody wants a piece of you. Well, let me tell you something, Shane Douglas. What you just tasted was only just a small sampling of what you have in store for the rest of your miserable, stinking career. Because if you think that it's over when somebody comes out here, and you think it's going to be over when somebody sinks their teeth into you, when they gnaw on your bones, when they get a little piece of your flesh and rip it off, oh no. Let me promise you one thing. It's not just Paulie Dangerously and Sabu, Shane Douglas. It's every single person in the wrestling industry has just one desire now, and that's to dog your hide until the day that you die.
Well, as Jason shows off yet another new suit, I can tell you fans at home to mark the date and time, because I have to agree with Paulie Dangerously. At this time, the franchise, Shane Douglas, is liked by none and hunted by all. Fan favorites want a piece of him for the lack of respect he showed to Terry Funk, for the mockery he tried to make of that ECW press conference, for his comments that he is the best, he is the franchise, he's the one stealing the spotlight from all the rule breakers. They want a piece of him. Shane Douglas is a marked man in every sense of the word, and he had can you imagine what would happen if Shane Douglas won the ECW heavyweight title on Saturday night, March 5th? If you think there are people coming after him now, he's going to need bodyguards. He's going to need an entourage if he walks out of this arena with that title. Now the Pitbull, he's a nasty-looking customer. You can bet he wants a piece of Douglas as well, as does that man, the Rockin' Rebel. They're always looking for the camera, much to my dismay. I'm sure you viewers at home share those sentiments. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. But Shane Douglas really buried himself, really dug a hole at that press conference that we saw last week here on Eastern Championship Wrestling. I can't believe that Shane Douglas would show such a lack of respect for Terry Funk, a man who is, not to use a word, not to make it a cliche, but a man who really is a legend in this sport, a man who has done it all. A former world heavyweight champion deserves some sort of respect, whether you like him or not, whether you agree with him or not, whether he is friend or foe. And Shane Douglas showed no respect to Terry Funk. He showed no respect to ECW Commissioner Todd Gordon. He showed no respect for his peers. And Shane Douglas will pay, you can bet that. Well, Jason finally leaves the ring. Ready for action. Here's the Rockin' Rebel, receives a round of boos. In other words, I dare not repeat here on ECW television. As there you see the Iron Man, Tommy Cairo, and JT Smith. Rebel now ready to lock up with the Iron Man. There it is, collar and elbow tie-up. Rebel backing up the Iron Man to the ropes. Will we have a clean break? I think not. Right hand by the Rebel. Irish whip in, off comes the Iron Man. Up and over, leapfrog Iron Man. Scoop and a slam on the Rockin' Rebel. Hip toss. Rebel quickly up to his feet and once again planted to the canvas by the Iron Man. Has really got things going early. The Rebel retreating into his corner. But we've got to take a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back as the Pitbull is taking advantage of JT, spitting on JT. That's disgusting. The Pitbull now chopping JT right in the throat. Referee admonishing him. Not that he cares. Pitbull picking up JT Smith, and Jason always seems to find that camera. Smith whipped in, ducks the clothesline, and Smith floors the Pitbull. The Pitbull now retreating. Great clothesline by JT Smith. He's not one to be pushed around, especially not in front of his hometown of Philadelphia. These are his friends. This is his family here. Now a meeting of the minds, or a lack thereof, between Jason the Pitbull and the Rebel. Pitbull slithers back in. And there's a wisely advised tag into the Rockin' Rebel. He's probably the nastiest man in this promotion. And in comes the Iron Man, Tommy Cairo. Cairo's ready to go. No love lost between these two as Cairo muscles the Rebel back to the corner and unloads with a series of overhand rights. Whip it in, and Cairo loses the elbow. The Rebel immediately follows up. Kicks to the midsection. And a forearm to the face, scoop and slam by the Rockin' Rebel. Rebel now stomping away on Tommy Cairo, goes over to provoke JT Smith. In comes Smith. Referee's back is turned, and you can bet these two will take advantage of it. Well, that's smart wrestling. I hate to admit it, but that's smart wrestling, and powerbomb on the Iron Man. Fantastic high-impact maneuver by the Pitbull. Why he's not going for the cover, I don't know. He's telling JT to he should be going for the cover. As now the Pitbull wrenches that arm. Kicking Tommy Cairo. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen that from the Pitbull. That came out of nowhere. Obviously versed in some forms of the martial arts. Those feet are dangerous. I had no idea. And the Rebel now trying to dislocate the shoulder of the Iron Man. Clothesline and floors Tommy Cairo. And again, there's no cover. Rebel off the ropes. Leg drop on the Iron Man right across the throat. And again, this team refusing to go for the cover. Well, they're obviously trying to send a message. They're looking for stiff competition. Perhaps they want a piece of the tag team champions, Kevin Sullivan and the Tasmaniac. They're not trying to pin Smith or Tommy Cairo. They're sending a message. They want to be top challengers. They want a piece of the gold, be it the ECW Tag Team Championship or the NWA Tag Team Championship. Cairo up and over, a belly-to-belly suplex by the Pitbull, and very nicely executed. Tag back into the Rebel. Cairo set up, and the Rebel goes right downstairs. Never one to miss an opening. Iron Man whipped across the ring. Rebel sets up. This is the clothesline. Rebel from across the ring. Double clothesline. Both men go down. Tommy Cairo's been in there a few minutes too long. He's got to make a tag. He's got to bring JT Smith back into this match. Smith is raring to go. The Rebel with a thumb to the eye for good measure. What a fantastic maneuver by the Rebel, just to blind Tommy Cairo so he can't make the tag. Cairo can't seem to make the tag. Yes! Referee saw it. In comes JT Smith. Smith unloads on the Pitbull. Rebel tries to get in the ring, doesn't make it. Smith unloading on everybody. He's unloading on the Rebel. He's scoop in. Drops the Pitbull on the back of his head. And one for the Rockin' Rebel. In comes Tommy Cairo. Cairo's got a piece of the Rebel. JT's going at it with the Pitbull. Pitbull now hammering away on JT Smith, who had the momentum going just a few minutes ago. Smith whipped into the corner. The Pitbull just floors him with a clothesline. The Rebel meets the guardrail on the outside. But in the ring, it's JT Smith being whipped into the corner. Here comes the Pitbull. JT Smith hooked the arms. Jake's 1, 2, and yes! What a great move by JT Smith. Just like that, JT Smith gets the pin. All right, JT. And JT continues to make a name for himself here in Eastern Championship Wrestling. What a fighter that kid is. The Pitbull arguing, but it was a clean pin. And you've got no beef with the referee. The Pitbull was just outclassed. Let's go to the replay. In goes JT Smith. right over the pit bull, hooks those arms, 1, 2, and just like that, JT gets the Duke with Iron Man, Tommy Cairo. Saturday night, March 5th at the ECW Arena. The ECW heavyweight title will be on the line. Stipulations to be announced next week as the champion, Terry Funk, defends his title against the most hated man in all of wrestling, the franchise, Shane Douglas, with manager, sensational Sherry Martel. The ECW TV title will be on the line as well, as Sabu with manager Paul E. Dangerously will defend against the challenge of ECW newcomer Awesome Mike Awesome. And in a very special attraction, the Roughneck Mr. Hughes with manager, the sexiest man on earth, Jason, will face Road Warrior Hawk.
Hi, this is Jason, the sexiest man on earth. How do you like my gold? How do you like my suit? How do you like my sweat? And how do you like my roughneck?
That's right. I am the Roughneck, tougher and meaner than any Undertaker. Hawk, you call yourself a warrior? Boy, let me tell you something. Back when I was growing up in the hood, I was the man that beat up the boys and took their money. Now, you want to deal with me? You call yourself coming from Chicago? Boy, I am from Kansas, under the hood, baby, the bricks. I am the man, the Roughneck. You're going down with the sidewalk slam.
Also appearing Saturday night, March 5th at the ECW Arena, you'll see the Public Enemy, Flyboy Rocco Rock and Johnny Grunge, Philadelphia's own JT Smith, the Bruise Brothers, ECW Tag Team Champions, Kevin Sullivan and the Tasmaniac with Woman, 911, Iron Man, Tommy Cairo, the Rockin' Rebel, Tommy Dreamer, Jimmy Superfly Snuka, and many, many more. That's Saturday night, March 5th at the ECW Arena. Call now for advanced ticket information, 215-544-0421. Eastern Championship Wrestling, it's not a secret anymore. Welcome back to Eastern Championship Wrestling. Now, before we go down to ringside to see the Roughneck Mr. Hughes in action, let's go back just 1 week and see the first man ever to survive the Superfly Splash. A historic moment, to say the least. It was young Tommy Dreamer. Let's go to the videotape. He feels the time is right. Dreamer has been injured. He's not moving. And like we have seen him do so many times in the past, Jimmy Snuka will go to the top turnbuckle like no other athlete can. And surely this will be all for Tommy Dreamer. If he can't roll out of the way or get a foot up, anything, this match is over. And Tommy Dreamer's quest for title contention is over. He had it's over. That's all. 1, 2, and no! Dreamer kicked out. Tommy Dreamer just kicked out of the Superfly Splash. Tommy Dreamer has done what is seemingly impossible. That splash has pinned so many athletes. That splash has pinned world champions. I don't remember anyone kicking out of that splash. As Jason shows off yet another new suit. Yeah, well, you... Oh, now what?
This is a suit.
And you're a pest. Who cares? The issue at hand. Hughes, Hawk, Saturday night, March 5th, the ECW Arena. Hughes claims he's going to make an example of Hack Myers here. Regardless, Hack Myers is no Road Warrior Hawk. Referee now checking Mr. Hughes as if he would need a foreign object to take on anyone, let alone Hack Myers. Myers set to lock up with Hughes, yes. And Hughes goes downstairs right away and upstairs on Hack Myers. Hughes just laying in with those overhand rights. Trying to intimidate our referee. Wrong promotion. Oh, Hughes cinching up Hack Myers. Front face lock. Could be a choke. Referee checking. Claiming he will break the neck of Hack Myers. You can bet things will not be so easy. Myers goes up and over. Textbook suplex by the roughneck, Mr. Hughes. He claims he's the man, but you can bet Hawk is looking on.
How do you like my roughneck?
Your roughneck I like. Your attitude and everything else is for the birds, pal. Hack Myers being shot across the ring. Off he comes and clothesline and floors Hack Myers. Did you see his head snap back? You can bet Road Warrior Hawk will replay this tape over and over again, studying every movement of Mr. Hughes in preparation for Saturday night, March 5th. Hack Myers ducks the clothesline, ducks one the other way, drop kick, standing drop kick by the 370-pound roughneck, Mr. Hughes. The whole world here, I get Mr. Hughes, the only time he leaves his feet is when he wants to. That's how dominant this athlete is. That's how one-sided this man can make any contest at any given time. Right hand that floors Hack Myers. Mr. Hughes having a good time at the expense of Hack Myers, who fires away to no avail. Hack Myers shot in once again. Ducks a clothesline, up and down goes Hack Myers, the sidewalk slam. And just like that, Mr. Hughes gets another victory, but that's no Road Warrior Hawk, and he's gonna have to meet the Road Warrior Saturday night, March 5th at the ECW Arena. Welcome back to Eastern Championship Wrestling. Recently, right here in this very arena, a very disturbing occurrence took place as my colleague Jay Sully was in the ring to interview the Sandman and Peaches when Jason, the Rockin' Rebel, and the Pitbull got involved. What these three are doing in the ring, I have no idea. It was just Jay Sully interviewing the Sandman and Peaches about recent happenings here in Eastern Championship Wrestling. Of course, Jason will seize any and all opportunities to show off his wardrobe and shoot off his mouth. And when backed up by the tandem of the Rockin' Rebel and the Pitbull, his new tag team, he can pretty much get away with it. This might get ugly. The Sandman poking Jason in the chest. These two exchanging, shall we say, unpleasantries. I got a feeling we're gonna see fireworks. Peaches she might just slap Jason herself. We've seen that before. Quite frankly, she'd probably level him. Oh, she looks like she's ready to gear back and let him have it now. And Jay, what a mouth on it. Wait a minute. Well, the Sandman claims that Peaches could take Jason at any time. Now, when's this again? Thank heaven. Wait a minute! I thought this situation was going to end peacefully. The Sandman's been blinded. Oh my God! Peaches just got leveled by the Sandman. Jay Sully goes down. He can't see a thing. The Rebel flooded the Sandman with whatever was in that bottle. And Peaches went down hard. The Sandman had no idea what was going on. Did you see Peaches hit them? Somebody get out there and help her. Please, somebody get down to ringside and check on Peaches. She may be hurt badly as the Sandman really let her have it. Of course, it was totally by accident. The referee's now attending. Here comes Tommy Cairo. The Sandman's not even looking back. He doesn't even care. Cairo on the scene to console Peaches, scooping her up and carrying her off. The Sandman never looked back. He had to know he decked Peaches. There goes the Sandman. He never once looked back. What's going on here? And down goes Stetson and Hot Body right away. Hot Body thrown from the ring. Is that Ron or Don? Not that it matters. Stetson being worked over to the corner. Hot Body on the outside. Irish whip into the corner. What velocity! He bounced in and out like a Super Ball. Tag in now to the other brother. Double whip in and double clothesline across the midsection. That'll crack a few ribs. And Tony the Hitman Stetson is dazed. He has no idea where he is. He's going to make a tag. I don't see Hot Body for one thing. For another thing, he never made it to his corner. As now he's being planted by Ron or Don or up and a belly-to-belly suplex. These two are a couple of monsters. They both stand about 7 foot, 300 pounds. Johnny Hotbody is not tagging in. Tony the Hitman Stetson went to make the tag. Johnny Hotbody not extending a hand saying, no way, you're on your own. A little dissension in the ranks. Last week we saw Stetson laughing at Hotbody. Who's laughing now, Stetson? You don't, with the big mouth, you don't look so tough now. Hotbody not even facing his partner. Hotbody just hanging his partner out to dry. Tony Hitman Stetson fired from the ring now. Boy, the Bruise Brothers are dominant. And we saw that February 5th at the ECW Arena when they faced a chair to the head. These two took on the Public Enemy in a street fight with no rules. And if you weren't there to see it live, oh boy, did you miss one of the wildest tag team matchups I have ever seen. But remember, you can purchase that video cassette. Orders are being taken now, 215-544-0421. If you're a collector or just a casual wrestling fan, it's a tape you don't want to be without. The night the line was crossed, February 5th, 1994 from ECW Home Video. Tony Stetson now desperately running to his corner, looking to make a tag. There's no one there to tag. Where is Johnny Hotbody? Hotbody's nowhere he is. Nowhere near his corner. Nowhere to make a tag. He's walking, turned his back on his partner. He's walking away. Stetson now punching out. He just decked Hotbody. Tony Stetson just decked his partner. And Hotbody is thrown into the ring. Hotbody now going step suplex by one half of the Bruise Brothers. Now stomping away on Hotbody. Hotbody. Well, Stetson giving the universal high sign to his partner and these fans in Philadelphia. Stetson had it. He's taking a walk back to the locker room. This may be the end of this tag team. As now Hotbody being whipped into the crowd by Ninja Crowd. What? This guy's a monster. These two are a couple of monsters. Stomping chairs. Johnny Hotbody may need medical attention before this one's over. What I can tell you, Vince, that the Bruise Brothers will be back at this ECW Arena Saturday night, March 5th for more ECW action. Hotbody shot in, pair of feet for Hotbody. Cover, 1, 2, 3. Good night, Johnny Hotbody. Tony Hitman Stetson's back in the locker room. That tag team may be done for good, but this tag team is going to be around for a long time to come. The Bruise Brothers. The Young Dragons, a hot new tag team making their ECW debut, and I wish them well. Look who they've been paired with, the ECW Tag Team Champions, Kevin Sullivan and the Tasmaniac. And these two young men from San Francisco are being battered already with chairs, as Kevin Sullivan and the Tasmaniac are giving them their initiation into Eastern Championship Wrestling. These two are a couple of beasts. The Dragons, I'm sure, wishing they were back across the country. It's Kevin Sullivan out the table. The table comes down across the camera cable. We got our picture. Well, here comes our picture. Luckily, we've got our picture back as Kevin Sullivan is just tearing apart the ringside area, looking for anything to use as a weapon against the Young Dragons, including the Timekeeper's hammer. Sullivan again with the chair. The poor Dragons just being beaten all over this arena with chairs. Is this a sanctioned match? If we had a belt? Oh my! That'll send shockwaves up your spine. It was painful just for me to look at. Oh, as this will be as well. I know what's coming up. Kevin Sullivan goes to the far corner like a bat out of hell, right into the Dragon. He's helpless, he's hanging there being stopped by Sullivan, who I believe is going, now whipping the Tasmaniac. Oh my, headbutt to the sternum. You know, they might want to stop this match. This kid's gonna get hurt badly. He's not even, they're limp, they're not even fighting back. The Dragons making their ECW debut. And the bell is rung. Yes, the referee, thank heaven, has stopped this match. The Young Dragons unable to continue as the champions, Kevin Sullivan and the Tasmaniac, just destroying these two young men. Oh, somebody please stop these two. Double headbutt. The Dragons have been beaten severely, brutally even, by Kevin Sullivan and the Tasmaniac, who are making an example of these two young men. Headbutt once again, and he's holding this kid up. This kid is limp. They're opening his gi. For what reason? Wait, here come the Bruise Brothers. The Bruise Brothers hit the ring. Ron and John Harris, the manhandling Kevin. Here come the Public Enemy. The Public Enemy now attacking the Bruise Brothers. This looks like a battle royal. Anything can happen here in ECW, and usually does. Well, I don't know who's helping out who. I don't think there's any love lost with any of these teams. It's just a fight for supremacy. Everybody wants the belt. Sullivan and Taz got him. The Bruise Brothers and the Public Enemy want him. Everyone's fighting for themselves. Rocco Rock and Johnny Grunge now firing one half of the Bruise Brothers from the ring. The other half fired out by the Tasmaniac and Sullivan. Back in they come. Ron and Don Harris taking on the tag team champions and the Public Enemy. The locker room beginning to empty. Here come a host of ECW competitors as once again the Harris brothers hit the floor. They're being restrained by Tommy Dreamer, Mike Awesome, well, there's a whole bunch of wrestlers out there trying to hold back the Harris boys. This is unreal. Meanwhile, left in the ring is the Public Enemy, Kevin Sullivan, the Tasmaniac. Is there some kind of kinship, a friendship here? Public Enemy came and stopped the Harris brothers from destroying the tag team champions. Perhaps a new bond was formed here, a new friendship even. Let's see what's going to go on here. We can see a new alliance of sorts. Perhaps women will now take the Public Enemy into their stable as well. Perhaps the Public Enemy can run interference for the tag team champions. I mean, they'll work cheap. We know that. A few bucks and a square meal. Anything they don't have to eat at the local mission, and they'll help you out. Like a peace summit. Hello. Oh, back to wrestling. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. No, they're having words. Rocco Rock now backing down from Kevin Sullivan. He won't back down from anybody. He won't back down from the police. Of course, he was arrested, but he didn't back down. Johnny Grunge going nose to nose as well. Well, there's no friendship here. We have an issue developing here. Seems the Public Enemy's got a problem with Sullivan and the Tasmaniac, and vice versa. Well, the Public Enemy claiming they're victorious. You can bet we haven't seen the last of the tag team champions and the men who claim they are the #1 challengers. Kevin Sullivan and the Tasmaniac, somewhere down the line, I've got to believe, are going to have to face the Public Enemy. Oh, yeah, you're all there. And how do the Bruise Brothers figure into all this? Well, you can bet a lot of these questions will be answered March 5th at the ECW Arena.
Rocco, if I ever dissed you, Rocco, don't answer the phone. Don't touch it. Listen, do I take care of you? Do I take care of you? Yeah. Are we brothers, Rocco? Are we brothers? Yeah. Okay, listen. We got to find a paper, see who gets the next title shot, because we need the title. That's a good idea. Oh, look, Rocco. Rocco, don't touch everything with your fingers.
Oh, don't worry, Johnny. Don't worry. Go find that. We gotta find that, baby. We gotta find that title shot because I'm telling you, I hope they don't give the next shot to the Blues.
We need Pence. We need Pence.
Put them away. We need them. We'll get them. That's okay. Okay. Gee,
Gotta be some here somewhere, right?
I don't know. It's gotta be in here. You gotta look.
Because you know we deserve it. Just like we beat them Bruise brothers. 1, 2, 3, right in the middle. No rules, Commissioner Gordon called for it. And then Kevin Sullivan and that little rat pack, Taz, whatever, guys jumping up and... Oh,
We came in there and we helped you, Tasmaniac. We helped you, Sullivan. We beat them Bruise brothers off you like a dog. And then you turn around, and what do you do, Mr. Sullivan? You diss my man, Johnny.
Me, Rocco, he touched me.
You keep your finger away from him, and we could have beat you like dogs. And we will. And you owe us, boys. You owe us. And we're looking for the next title shot. Papers or no papers, Johnny. We're deserving of it.
Rocco, we are gonna be the